My name is Camdyn Powers. I work as a marketing specialist for the Precision Rifle Series, and I've worked there for almost 8 months. Yeah, so at the young age of 3, I went out to the range with my dad, and he taught me how to shoot on a little pink Cricket 22. And from there, he proceeded to basically teach me anything about rifles, from reloading to firearm safety. I got into archery for a little bit just for fun, and I grew up hunting with my dad. I never had a desire to compete, never taking things seriously, just fun range days with my dad is where it was at. In 2019, that is when my dad actually discovered the precision rifle sport. It took a little while. He ended up building some rifles for us, practiced a little bit. The centerfire rifle scared me with the recoil and the loud booms, so that made me even more hesitant. But he was like, well, there's 22 side of it. Like, you can shoot a small 22, you do it all the time. And so we got a 22, but then COVID happened. So all the matches shut down, but we had a 22. And we had a KYL rack that we set up at 30 yards, and I'd go out there and I would shoot. I'm like, yeah, this is great. I'm having fun. And I'm shooting a 1/4 inch target at, 90 feet. It's pretty impressive for a 17-year-old girl. And then the matches started back up once COVID died down. My dad was like, yep, we're going to go compete. And I was like, I'll watch you. Then we got to range. He shoots, I'm watching. I'm like, this isn't as bad. People seem nice. Guns aren't scary. Okay, I can maybe do this. Then there was another match a few weeks later, and him and my mom were really supportive and were like, why don't you shoot it? If you don't like it, you don't have to do it again. But at least try it. Why not? I did go, reluctantly, but I went. Within an hour, I was having so much fun. And by the end of the day, I'm like, when's the next match, Dad? Me and you, we're going, come on. It's been like a puzzle, slowly putting all the pieces together. When I started beating my dad, I knew I got to a certain point and, getting better as a shooter. There were moments of little victories. I'd get a top 10, but then, going to an NRLX match or a harder match, that was a whole nother game. A little over 2 years after I started competing, I got 3rd overall at a match. And there were some good shooters there. And I just remember really having fun at that match, not worrying about my score, not worrying about where I place, and I ended up placing really well. It was also that moment when I realized when I relaxed myself mentally, I did better physically. So at that point, I realized, all right, I have the physical talent, and when I was able to get out of my headspace and not worry about whether or not I hit or I miss, the mental game played into it. And I was like, I think I have a shot at getting better if I pursue really practicing and really working on my mental game. But it's honestly been like an ongoing journey though. Like, I haven't won a larger match up until this year. I would say my practicing routine has refined over the last 1.5 years. It's not the amount of shots I take, but it's the quality of them. But regardless, practice has always been a big part of my journey. So this is my range that over the last 4 years, my dad has worked really hard to build different props on. We have a spool that we shoot off of. We have a cattle gate, a fallen log with tree limbs. We have then the rooftop, the traditional wooden barricade. Then, after a rough match with a lot of ropes, we have the ropes that we'll practice on, barrels, a log tire situation that does not have a proper name. Then we have...
That just happened on camera.
Really
Random rabbit comes out to almost die.
Yeah, Yep, not knowing that Millie was here. Hi, you almost got him. You almost got him. Then we have the tank trap tear, where we have 3 different tank traps, different sizes. And then lastly, the rock pile. And that basically signifies the end of our range. So we have turned 2 of our haying pastures into a shooting range. That's disgusting. That is so nasty. Wait, where's the stick? We gotta get that off.
What exactly got up there and did that?
I don't even know.
Part of the stage.
Ew, it's gross. Oh. If it wasn't for the community that I have of shooters around me, I would not be where I am. Before I started competing, I'm like, no one's gonna be nice. No one's gonna be friendly. It's gonna be a bunch of guys. How am I going to fit in as a girl, as a young girl? But they're now my adopted uncles. It's really how I see most of them. You know, it's when I go to a match, it's like seeing family.
It's like when you say go.
It really is a community, whether or not it's I needed something or they need to borrow my gear. It's that camaraderie and, hey, yeah, let's all help each other, and meeting, encouraging people along the way, or meeting the people that toughen my skin. And it's really the community that has been there for me since the very beginning. 2023, I placed top lady at the NRL Championship and the top lady for the season. So I won lady for the season and for the championship match. That was my goal since I started. It took 2 finales of some rough mental mistakes, but I learned from them and I came back my 3rd year and finally got my goal. And my competitive side was, let's do it again. So this year in 2024, I was able to go back to the NRL finale and place top lady, ex-season champion and season champion, which was a huge accomplishment, and I was so excited for it and very thankful. And in 2023, I had the honor of being on Team USA. So the IPRF World Championship matches happen every other year for Rimfire. Last year, in 2023, it was the first ever Rimfire World Championship match. And I was one of 22 people that was on Team USA and one of the 4 ladies that went, and I placed silver. And I'm so excited for it. That was one of the hardest matches I've ever shot. The mental training to get prepared for that match was huge. It was in Italy, so of course then you have to travel overseas with a firearm and all your gear, and you have to obey the laws, the firearm laws of Italy. But we went, and the U.S. did so good in that competition. Just being part of such a solid team with so much talent, natural talent and talent that has been worked on. It was amazing. So I'm an international champion. But a lot of people don't take rimfire seriously just because it's a 22. How can it be accurate? But the amount of time that has gone into refining rimfire rifles over the last 10 years and having custom rifles or even just really good factory rifles that you can get at a sporting goods store. People can easily come into this sport with a factory rifle, whether or not it's a 1022 that you already have or it's a Tikka, CZ, or Bergara that you pick up at your local sporting goods store. People shouldn't be afraid to join the sport just because they can't, maybe at this time, they don't want to go into the process of buying a custom rifle, because what if you don't like the sport? Totally understand. Coming from somebody who is barely 17, a young girl, I had my own hesitations. I have never been to a club that has not been welcoming to new shooters. It truly is a welcoming community. Like I said earlier, these guys are like family to me. They're adopted uncles. So it's challenging and it's fun, and I've never met somebody who's not had fun at a match. I like looked into the camera. So come shoot with us.